Joining us now is our friend, Carrie Harrison, LA News commentator, founder of GoHarrison.com. He's the host of Think Green Radio and science and tech geek guru for GoHarrison.com. Harrison, thanks for being with us.
Hello, Molly. I'm just still chuckling of there's more dead people that can vote than you actually thought.
Isn't that just shocking?
Well, I usually think about that a lot, and it's relieving to know there's actually more of them than I thought.
Yes, we're always full of surprises here on the afternoon edition. So tell us about, first of all, I'm fascinated by this story that we've been hearing a little bit about, that the federal government will recognize Internet addiction as a clinical affliction.
Yes, well, it turns out that not just the federal government often is the handmaiden of large political concerns or pharmaceutical companies or lobbyists, and they want to classify this as a legitimate disease so that pharmaceutical companies can start to prescribe mental medicine for it, i.e. OCD-type pills and this and that. There's a huge new industry about to be born for people addicted to the internet, and they classify sending too many texts or needing constant upgrades with your software or missing like a lover missing your computer. And we know that many people spend hours a day perhaps on the naughtier websites. That is indeed addictive as a sexual addiction, but just the fact that you're stuck at work at the office 8 hours a day might mean that you're somehow addicted to your machine.
So you say that this is kind of a conspiracy, you think, by the federal government to get drugs involved in this?
Well, it's not a conspiracy by the government so much. The politicians tend to respond to cash and prizes, and the pharmaceutical companies are among the richest corporations that we have on earth right now, and they've got a host of medicines to start to prescribe to people. We have already a population in this country of children under the age of 20, where huge percentages of them are on Ritalin and all kinds of anti-ADD drugs, something nobody'd ever heard of 15 years ago, and it's 4-year-olds are on this stuff now. So it's a huge billion-dollar gift. A gift to the pharmaceutical companies if we can get it legally and medically determined by the government as a bona fide disease. It can then be treated by prescription and with smiles and grins and a serious zeal and appetite.
Well, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on the radio, but couldn't you just turn it off?
Could you what?
Turn off your computer. Boom, end of addiction. Well,
here's the actual definition. I think you'll like this. It's really straightforward. Excessive use, often associated with a loss of sense of time or neglect of basic drives, withdrawal, anger, tension, depression, when the computer is inaccessible. Tolerance, including the need for better computer equipment, more software. Then you start lying, you do poor achievement, social isolation, and finally fatigue. Now, I would say that's connected to pretty much life on life's terms, with or without your computer. But if you can put that in the definition, you can start to make a lot of money treating people, because Molly, all of us do when we watch television, it's nothing but ads for PAD and restless leg syndrome and stuff that nobody'd ever heard of before.
Right. Well, yeah. I suppose you have a point there. Maybe a 12-step program. Tell us about the rumors of the Ipad3.
Well, rumor is exactly the correct word to apply to that. It's interesting that Apple starts these rumors, or the rumors start themselves, months before the release of a new component. We saw this with the iPhone number 5, which never happened. It was the iPhone 4S. The Ipad3 is allegedly going to be coming out of the beginning of March. It probably will come out at the end of March, and it's expected to have a much better camera. It's already HD, but it'll be a super deluxe version. It's going to have a faster processor. It's going to be a mightier version, similar, many feel, to a regular MacBook Pro, which is the laptop version without the the hardware. So it'll still be a light, paper-thin machine, but it'll do everything now.
Now, tell me about this, because the Wall Street Journal is talking about Apple's new design for the iPad with an 8-inch iPad screen. They're saying it's scaled down, and the new version would compete better with the smaller Samsung Galaxy Note and the Amazon Kindle Fire. Do you want a smaller screen? Is that just Can you see it better? Is that the purpose?
Well, you can't see it better, but they're finding a lot. Get this: a lot of iPads are cracking because they really are about a foot long, and any kind of weight right in the middle, and it cracks the screen. They bend if you carry it under your arm and drop it, and the smaller ones tend to have a greater impact resistance against ground or airplane trays if you're traveling, things of that nature. And
so
again,
it's not really about better resolution. It's more durable.
Well, you are going to get a better resolution probably with a smaller screen, but remember, these screens are far more advanced than a big flat screen TV at home. So a size of a screen at that point is kind of irrelevant because Apple does lead the game in resolution in many ways already. I think it's about making it fit into ladies' purses and things of that nature, which a big old iPad, it's a tough fit for a lot.
I've seen women fit poodles in purses, but Harrison, we are out of time. Thank you so much for being with us. Harry Harrison, LA News commentator, founder of GoHarrison.com. He's the host of Think Green Radio and Science and Tech Geek Guru for GoHarrison.com.